Hello my friends and welcome to Italy, a Place to Love YouTube channel. So, the channel where Italy is a place to love and Italy is a place to know. Alright, so today I want to go back to the topic of my last two videos, where I was talking about the Italian citizenship for the Italian who moved abroad in the last 150 years. So these videos had many views and were also a bit controversial, because I made one video in the beginning, then I investigated a bit better the situation, and I had to admit that anyway, things are not really as they look like. So, in today's video I want to go and read the comments under my video, some comments under my last video, and some comments under another very interesting video that I watched about this topic. The channel which I'm taking the video where I'm going to read the comment is called Wealthy Expats. It's an interesting channel, so they give recommendation, and anyway, in this video they were talking about the Italian citizenship by Descendant. Alright, so let's enter into the topic of the video, and I will start from some of the comments under my video. Alright, now one of the comments that I find more interesting than anyone is this one. I'm gonna read it and then I will also take my considerations. If the Italian government was smart, they would try to incorporate the second, third generation Italians back into the Italian economy using the wealth of knowledge obtained by living abroad to strengthen the failing Italian economy. Okay, this is the first part of the comment. Low interest loans for foreign citizens looking to open businesses in Italy, low personal tax for foreigner citizens with large families, fast-track citizenship for foreign descendants with specialized skills who want to return. So I personally agree 100% with this comment. In particular, the first part, where it says if the Italian government was smart, because here it's about being smart, they would try to incorporate the second, third generation Italian back into the Italian economy using the wealth of knowledge obtained by living abroad to strengthen the failing Italian economy. Okay, why? For me it's very important to focus on this paragraph. Because the Italian economy, now as I repeated in many of my videos, is not doing well at all. So in Italy we have a lot of problems. The problems started around at least 30 years ago. Now Italy, I repeated this many times, has the problem with no financial growth, so there's no economical growth in Italy, a proper economical growth for the last 30 years, at least, as I can remember. Depopulation, alright, so we have a very high depopulation. Many young people, and not only young, are still living in Italy nowadays, in 2025. So as many of our ancestors had left Italy back to 150 years ago, to 100 years ago, to 50 years ago, up to now we are in the same scheme. So it seems like things for Italy have never changed. This is the drama. Plus, because here it enters as well the third topic, that it's also a bit controversial, but has to be said, that anyway in the last 30 years in Italy we had massive immigration. So we had this massive immigration, obviously different cultures. Now we can see these things in a good way, in a bad way. I'm not going to enter into the topic of the immigration, but it's a matter of fact that many people came to Italy. But in my opinion, anyway, is the way as these comments say, to using the wealth of knowledge obtained by living abroad to strengthen the failing Italian economy. So, all these Italians, Italian descendant, for me they are Italians. Nowadays I can state that these people are fully Italians. Now they can be a huge opportunity for the Italian economy, simply because anyway, they have knowledge, they have know-how, they are young, there are a lot of young people, and these people can only create and generate the losses that we had. So we had losses, so now if we change the trend and we start letting these Italians easily coming back here, for example, this may give a chance for the Italian economy to improve. Now GDP, for example, let's talk about the economy. The GDP is growing when you have an increasing of population. Now, if there is a decreasing population, you will never have an increasing GDP. This is statistic, I mean, this is economy. And also know-how, I mean, the knowledge. If these people have studied, if these people have knowledge, let them be entrepreneur in the meaning that they can open businesses here. Maybe not everyone, because again, one thing that I want to repeat, that to apply for the Italian citizenship, it costs a lot of money. Then also we can say about the scandals which the Italian foreign minister talk about, the fake, these people, but I believe these are the fake one. They should have been investigated better by the Italian institution. Has nothing to do with the genuine Italian who wants to apply for an Italian citizenship. And then obviously if you give the opportunity to these people, on top of the fact that it costs already big amount of money, the statistic says that to get a citizenship in Italy, if you are from United States or if you are from Brazil, it may cost in between 5 to 10,000 euros. And so it's not a cheap process. So who is not genuine is not going for a cheap process. Who is not genuine will go through anyway, what we can call it anyway. Who is not genuine can go through bribing processes. So it means someone is not honest at a bureaucratic level. But anyway, the fact that the Italian economy is not doing well, this is a matter of fact, and it seems like in Italy the feeling is that by the taxation, now I'm saying this as an Italian that is living in Italy, the feeling is that nobody at the moment has the intention to improve the quality of the life in Italy. Actually, it seems like, okay, each time the population exceeds a bit, okay, let them go. Simply, but then at the same time we let someone in, and these people that we let them in, what they do to the Italian job, they simply decrease the working, they decrease the price, the cost of the job. So cheap labor is pushing also the Italian wages for Italian people lower, because they say, if we can pay someone a lower wage, we can also apply these wages to the Italian, and this is keep pushing Italian away. Believe me, it's dramatic, it's extremely controversial. For example, anyway, let me read one more comment. It's important for Italians to realize that many Italian Americans still identify as Italian. Sadly, this has a lot to do with not being fully accepted as American. So an Italian still identifies himself as an Italian in America, is not fully accepted as an American, and it's part of the American experience for many immigrants. Not for everyone, because maybe someone doesn't even care about getting the Italian citizenship. Now, those that feel more Italian than American are feeling rejected because they are labeled American. So, I'm saying generally American could be American from the States, or could be Brazilian, Argentinian. So it's really as simple as that. And I agree 100% with this comment, because there is always the thing that you are not accepted, maybe because you keep your traditions, and you are not accepted as a fully Brazilian, for example. And then, anyway, if you're coming to Italy, you are not seen as an Italian, but you are seen as a Brazilian. And this obviously creates a kind of conflict inside the people. Anyway, there are many interesting comments, but now I'd rather go under the comments of this video that I watched on this channel called Wealthy Expat. Because here you find more, let's say, kind of 50-50. 50% of the comments are pro giving the citizenship, and there is another, say, 50% who is against, for example. Now, let's read a few comments. If they made the language test a requirement, fewer people would have applied. For example, I see this comment more against to give the citizenship, because obviously many of these Italians living abroad, they might not speak for many reasons anymore Italian. For example, as many of you told me under my video, that Brazil forbid to speak Italian in Brazil during the fascist times, for example. And so this made the life of these people, actually it made these people that they were forced to speak not Italian, even if I realize, I watch few videos as well about this language that is spoken in Brazil called Italian. Not Italian, but it's called Italian. And it's very interesting, because it's most a mix of dialect, of Italian dialects, which it comes nearly most from Veneto region, because it sounds a lot like the Venetian dialect, the dialect spoken in Veneto region, with a mixture also of other dialects of Italy, but made a very particular. I was able to understand. I watched a video actually in Italian, and I was able to understand what these people were saying. So I'm surprised that in a good way that there are people who are still speaking this kind of new dialect. It's a new Italian dialect in Brazil. Then, Brazil has the biggest population outside Europe, more than Argentina and USA. Yes, because most of the Italians, I tell you, even in my family there is someone who moved to Brazil. I have to go back to 1871, and was the brother of my great-grandfather. He moved to Brazil. Then I actually made a video recently, because I've been in touch with the descendant of this brother of my great-grandfather. So basically we have in common my great-great-grandfather. So we had the same great-grandfather, because if the brother of my great-grandfather went to Brazil, so then from Brazil they moved to Cuba, so it's a very long story. Anyway, it's very interesting. But even in my family, in 1871, from Basilicata region, someone moved to Brazil. Then, I speak Italian, I'm well educated. I have a wife and 3 kids, and we were planning on moving to the area of my Italian ancestors. Italy is a diaspora people. Yet my family is now barred from citizenship. This is complete craziness, and Italy is shooting itself in the foot. And I totally agree. Italy, for me, by what I've investigated in the last 3-4 days, since the 28th of March, since our Italian foreign minister, Tajani, went through this hot topic, and I investigated the subject. So I see more as a potential. Obviously, the bureaucracy is a big obstacle, because bureaucracy, even for Italian, is a madness. I believe that even our foreign minister is in part partially genuine when he's talking about how the offices, the Italian offices, the consulates and the councils in Italy are packed with this documentation. But again, it's about the Italian bureaucracy. Italian bureaucracy is a mess, just to answer to this comment. And if we don't go back to the origin of the problem, to start solving the bureaucracy in Italy, we will never get out from this problem. Now, maybe he's trying now to give a kind of beginning, to give a point where you can start organizing things properly, but unfortunately this is gonna affect a lot of people, which is not fair. Now, indeed, it has been abused. I know so many Argentinians and Brazilians in London who don't give a damn about Italy, nor speaking the language, and yet they got the passport. So this is one of the comments, for example, against giving according to the law before the 28th of March 2025. This one said, probably is an Italian commenting this, because this approach, this, let's say, negative approach towards the citizenship to Italian descendant, it seems like it's coming more from the Italian, like me. For example, when in my first video I said, maybe it's correct, maybe these people are not Italian anymore, so I was a bit confused. Now, Italians are generally confused about this, but unfortunately, if then they experience this, to see a lot of Argentinians or Brazilians, now here it's pointing the finger in particular to these two nationalities, and I also have experienced this, I said in my video, but can we do? They still have this right. So then it's up to them. Obviously, the fact that, let's say, a Brazilian is able to get the Italian citizenship, and the Italian citizenship is giving you the chance to move to another 27 countries, that passport gives you a lot of opportunities. Again, I would redirect these Italians who are Italian by descendant to bring them to Italy for the know-how, for the economy itself. If these people would like to move here, to give them kind of make them easier. The fact, for example, a low taxation, they would bring money here. So, but anyway, it's an extremely controversial topic. I've never seen a country sabotage themselves as much as Italy. I was going to spend a multi-million-dollar retirement there, but if they want to play game, I'm off. So I'm not coming. Now, I don't take too much seriously this comment, because I'm going to spend a multi-million-dollar retirement. Who guarantee me that? But it's technically true that anyway, it's kind of shooting yourself, not giving the opportunity to Italy, for example, to increase the population, because anyway this might help. I've never seen a country sabotage themselves as much as Italy. Anyway, many people for sure would have come here and spent their money here, but it's not only it's not everything just about the money. Anyway, it's also about feelings. Obviously, if we want to go just to the core, we might say, okay, here it's only a matter of money. But again, if someone cannot afford to apply for the citizenship, because applying for the citizenship is quite expensive, so who cannot afford, he's not gonna do it. Then, Italian constitution is clear about this, we are Italian by blood, so by being Italian by blood, now I hope they're gonna find a way anyway to organize the things properly and to give the right to who have the right and not to give the right to who doesn't have. So we need an institution, someone who is going after behind this and can check properly, because then the scams of this is another huge problem. It seems like the government took this decision mainly to avoid fake citizenships, Italian citizenship to who doesn't have the right. This it looks like, apparently, but then don't make it impossible for the people who are genuine. Italians are leaving. Why doesn't Italy make it easier to become a citizen? Okay, this is another good point which I have already said, because if Italy has a problem with the depopulation, so why don't we allow people to come here? Because this will increase the population. Maybe there is a problem, which I actually have to make a video about this, I said already. Maybe in Italy 60 millions, in Italy we are 59 millions at the moment. Now, if there is this agenda of decreasing the Italian population, maybe I can just assume that are we too many? And so, is Italy always in need of a kind of diaspora, because we are simply too many? So each time we reach a certain amount of population, we create the condition for people to leave, because this, it seems like, is a scheme that is repeating for the last 150 years. So it's like to push Italian people away more than letting Italian people in. I'm an American, I would like to move there, but it seems impossible. Not only impossible because the bureaucracy, impossible could be also because it is financially expensive. Another one say, I was born in Latvia and so was one of my parents in the 80s, and I can't get Latvian citizenship by descent unless I move to Latvia. Live there for 5 years and then do the Latvian language exam. Okay. This, it's an interesting comment, this one. If I was born in Latvia and so was one of my parents in the 80s and he cannot get Latvian citizenship. It seems like, so he was born by descent. So he's probably, so this person is not living in Latvia, but he was born in Latvia and he cannot get citizenship by descent. Now this looks a very strict rule that Latvia puts. So not even if your parents are Latvian, you are entitled. This could be, let's say, the same for the Italian. Okay, then let them live 5 years in Italy, let them do an Italian language job, and then you get the citizenship. Okay, but then it means we should change the constitution by recognizing Italian by blood, by sanguinis, because probably in Latvia they don't recognize Latvian. Okay, maybe I know why Latvia doesn't do this, because 50% of the Latvian population are not Latvian, already not Latvian, so they maybe want to bring people strict to the Latvian connection, but for who is not aware, 50% of the Latvian population are simply not Latvian. And then, but in Italy, now apart the immigrants who came in the last 30 years, Italians are Italians by blood. So from Valle d'Aosta region to Sicily, things are like this. Now anyway, they have not stopped, they have just stopped the opportunistic people from taking advantage of the ancestry of people they never knew. This, for example, is coming from an American, not from an Italian, and it seems like this person is glad that they're gonna stop these opportunistic people. So now I'm gonna close the video, and this is probably gonna be the last on this topic. It seems like now at the moment we are 50-50. So what do I notice is that there are 50% in favor of this new law enforcement, and another 50% which are against, simply because they consider themselves Italian, and which not consider they are Italian, because the Italian constitution says clearly that we are Italian by blood. Okay, alright my friends, so I hope you have enjoyed this video. This is the last on this topic, then I will go back to my topics about Italy, all the topics that I cover, whatever is interesting. Actually, I want to make a video soon about the tariffs, the consequences for the Italian economy about these tariffs that United States and Donald Trump, since they want to put on charge for all the countries around the world. Alright my friends, so I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you here soon on Italy, A Place to Love YouTube channel.